So, Ziv, let's continue talking about
I wanted to
Ludovic's
ask,
experience. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, I want to go back all the way and ask you, you moved to Hong Kong when you were 2 months old. Why? Why did your family move there?
So to give
In
a
the
little bit of context. So that's my father who went there to work. So my father was sent there as an expat, but it was not even his first mission as an expat. His first expat mission was when he was sent to Nigeria. I can't really say the date. I think that was 1980.
That
Middle
really
of the
sounds like a
1980s,
mission.
you know? Dude, that was the civil war over there. He told me some stories, of I don't think any of us can actually figure out, that was a mess over there. So he was there for a couple of years. Then he went back to France, just real quick. And then his second mission as an expat, as I remember, is Iraq.
Oh, wow.
And that was during the first Gulf War.
As an engineer.
As an engineer.
1991,
I think he was
guess,
building some
1990.
sort of bunkers for Saddam Hussein at that time. Seriously, actually. I think there was some sort of like weird things.
He was okay.
That's a rabbit hole we could go
That's a rabbit hole,
for
yeah.
a completely
I
new
don't know if
podcast.
can we call him like?
Unfortunately, you can ask, but I don't know much.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of secret over there.
Is he? Okay, so engineer, he went to many places. You're saying you call
Yeah.
it expat missions almost.
Yeah,
Is it? There was no enough work in France, or I don't know if you know, or was it more lucrative?
No, it was definitely more lucrative, and I think that's always what he wanted to do.
Okay, he
know?
was adventurous.
And at this point, he knew also that, and same like now, and back then it was even more. As in, if you dare to go on this kind of expat missions, then you usually have a kind of a short track on your career. You
What do you
go
mean?
there, you get some experience where you could not get back home.
Okay.
Speaking for myself,
More unique.
Of course. Yeah, and then, because you bring some sort of expertise and some sort of knowledge to some places where they don't have, so which they will. So you will end up doing some new things, some things which you would have to wait much longer if you would to stay back home to actually do this kind of job. I know if ever that's clear what I'm saying.
Let me see. So the learning curve is
Right.
faster,
Much faster.
in these foreign places, in
Right,
these
right,
expat
right,
jobs
right,
than
right.
it is. Okay, I understand.
I think many people can relate to this. Same thing with me in my job right here, right now.
Right.
If
Yes.
ever I would think to stay, if ever I was to stay in France, like I'm 32 years old. Although I have like some sweet experience in this and that, I don't think I would need to wait maybe 10 more years before getting to my actual position now, as in like departmental manager. You're overlooking few different restaurants.
Right. You're pretty young you move faster because of the experience.
Yeah. And that was the case back then, and I think that was even more the case. As in, there was way less people willing to move around.
So your father did a few expat missions, and as you said, and that's how eventually he
ended up in Hong Kong.
And, but you told us before that when in your childhood, every year you thought you're going to go back to France.
Yep.
Every year, I'm moving in the end of the year or something like that. Tell us a little bit about that. Why was that?
Well, so as I said earlier, basically we got to Hong Kong because my father was sent there. My mother eventually found a job, but it was really because my father had his job in Hong Kong that we stayed there. And my father, as a civil engineer, he was just hired on certain projects,
Yeah.
And his projects
Project based.
Yeah. And basically, when the project was finished, they maybe did not had anything else to do in afterwards. So as a kid, I grew up in Hong Kong thinking that every next year we would move out, because that's what my father would say. He would say, our project here is pretty much done. Seems there's nothing much for us to do in the future, so we may actually go back to home.
So go break up
France,
with your girlfriend.
Yes.
And basically, fortunately, never happened. He kept on having some new projects or things, and we stayed over there for 30 years.
I guess after a few years, you're like, Dad. Yeah.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I would always believe him, but my friends were like, dude, okay, you say this every year. We
You're
know
not
you're
going
going
anywhere.
to stay here. Yeah.
So, and your parents just moved back to France?
Recently.
They moved back to Europe recently.
To Europe, sorry.
But my parents moved to England.
To England.
Yeah.